Hey guys, how y'all doing? Just thought I'd kind of touch base and see how everybody's doing. Trying another video here on YouTube. I haven't quite polished everything yet or tried out all the different mixes and all. So here we are anyhow. We are right in the middle of Come Alive weekend, and so far it has been memorable. How's that? Supposed to have a Seder meal last night, couldn't do it. Different things that happened. And we elected not to do the Seder meal last night. A very important family is just celebrated a home going. And so we decided to kind of postpone that. And now we're going to do that actually tomorrow night at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock here at the church. We will go ahead and have a Seder meal. A lot of you have already prepared a lot of things, so we're asking you to bring those back in if you can. We know that you have a lot of family things planned and things going on around this time of the year, so we're not, if you're here, good deal. If not, that's okay too. We get it. Tomorrow morning, things are going to be a little bit different than usual. We are going to start at 9 o'clock with a breakfast. We are going to be serving breakfast to whoever comes in. 10 o'clock is when we will begin the service. And throughout the service, we'll have worship. We'll have just all sorts of things going on. And some of the highlight things that are going to happen would be tomorrow we're going to be receiving communion. Very, very important part of my journey and where I'm at, and where I believe a lot of folks that have similar interests and similar beliefs that I do. Communion is a very, very important time. And so we will be celebrating as we receive communion tomorrow in remembrance, remembering what God went through for this, remembering what his son went through for all of this stuff so that we would have it. And just focusing in on the main component of that is because he wanted to, because he loves us with a love that we can only just begin to really understand. So not only will we be receiving communion, but we're also going to have a baptism service tomorrow. The baptismal is already full, and I'm going to be plugging the heater in tonight to make sure that the water is warm, not hot, but just warm, so the candidates don't freeze tomorrow. So candidates, if you're watching, don't forget you need to bring a couple of towels. You need to remember that you are going to go completely under the water, so you're going to get wet. Don't plan on redoing your hair and all of that stuff because people are going to want to greet you afterwards. So the baptism is going to be towards the end of the service tomorrow. And I'll revisit all of this stuff tomorrow so that we'll know where we're going. But we'll have a baptism service, and then they'll go downstairs and begin to change as we wrap things up. And then the candidates and I, we have a small little gift that we want to give to everybody for celebrating with us tomorrow. So make sure you look for something. You are going to be receiving something extra as you're leaving to go about your Resurrection Day, your Sunday festivities, whatever you have planned. And now for the rest of the month, there's just so many more things going on. For the Church of the Nazarene here in Alaska, we have our district assembly and conventions coming up really, really soon. So make sure if you can be there, be there. If you were elected to vote and to represent either Eagle River or any of your churches here on the district that might be watching this, make sure you're there, and so you can cast your vote and to help the Church of the Nazarene continue in the right direction that God had set us out on, and that he continues to sustain us as we move along. Mother's Day will be a little bit different. We are going to be doing Mother's Day greeting cards. Here, we're going to make a nice little video. You'll hear more about it this upcoming week and the following weeks because you are going to have an opportunity to be a part of it. And what it's going to be is you'll have a big old piece of cardboard wherever you can find it, unless you're here. If you're here, I'm going to try to have a pizza box or two to give you. I just haven't heard back yet from anybody. But on this piece of cardboard, however big it is, you're just going to write a Mother's Day greeting on it. You can write it to your mom. You can write it to your wife. You can write it to your sister, your daughter, or whatever it might be, even if it's just moms in general. You're just going to write a greeting, and we like to take a picture of it. And we're going to compile all these pictures together and make one great big Mother's Day video that we will be airing on Mother's Day Sunday. First airing will be during our regular service, so that'll be between 10:45 and noon. But then after that, we'll start running it for everybody else to follow. I'm hoping that friends in California, Tennessee, Missouri, Florida, Ohio, Arkansas, Indiana, I'm hoping those and others will participate in this. It's not your church specific. It's not your state specific. Even those around the world, whoever might be watching this. I know we have a lot of military folks that will be watching this. I want for you, if you would, to write that Mother's Day greeting. Just give me a JPEG. Send me a JPEG. And so I can include you and send it to the erpastorAK@gmail.com. I believe it's going to be down at the bottom and the credits and all that, so you'll know where to send it. But you send those to me, and I will make sure and put that in the video and make it a very significant part of the video that we're going to air. So that's coming up on Mother's Day, Father's Day. That's a long time away, but we are looking at that. We're also taking a look at family camp, which is there right at the beginning of July, right over the 4th of July weekend. And I've been asked to share the evening message on July the 4th. So myself and whoever else I can incorporate into that, I might put together a little skit or something with some of the family members here, and we'll do something. So if you are in the Big Lake area, which is just outside of Wasilla, we'd love for you to be part of family camp. It's a big tradition here on the Alaska district, and why not come on in? Beautiful camp. You'll absolutely love it. That's July. And then there's just other things coming up. Thanksgiving and Christmas are usually pretty big for us. And so the closer we get to that, I'll start rolling out some of the things that we're going to do for that. Going back to a lot of the things that happened over the weekend, a very good friend of mine, one that I fell in love with, one that he and his family have accepted my wife and I in and helped us and done everything that he can. Here early this morning, he went home, and this is something that we have been praying about for some time now. He had a major transplant several years ago, and these things continue to happen, but for some reason, I believe, and this is selfish on my part, but anyway, I believe it was because I needed to meet him, and I needed for him to become part of my life. There were some things that he has shared, things that he had said, and that he represented that I needed. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. But he has gone home. We have prayed, and he has family down in Tennessee, his big sister, and I've been able to meet her and her husband online. But just a lot of things happening over these last couple of days, and it's so much more to this huge weekend and what it represents than sometimes we give credit for. It's not all about the new clothes. It's not all about the family members all coming together and celebrating either celebrating the Pesach or celebrating Easter, with the bunny and all of these things. It's so much more than that. This is why I remember years ago in a district function, I led worship, and I led the song, and it wasn't even near Easter time, but I led the song "Because He Lives." In the lyrics of that song, which I do not have credit for, I do not have anything like that for it, but the lyric of the song says, "Because He lives, I can face tomorrow." And there's some deeper meaning now because of the events that have happened early this morning and just the things that have led up to this. And so I'm sharing all of this just to ask you that as you roll into tomorrow, some of you might already be into tomorrow, But as you roll into that, as you celebrate, as you do what you do on a Sunday morning, Resurrection Sunday, that you'll focus in on what the real meaning is, what the significance of it is, how different it has made your life. And if it hasn't, there's a challenge, right? Um, Allow it to make a difference. Allow the transformation to happen. Um, yeah, there you go. One of the things that that was just kind of not a segue, but just kind of an offshoot. So, I watch different YouTube videos, and there's a lot of them that I really, really enjoy. And one of them has to do with hot sauce and chicken wings. And so I have some of their hot sauces now. I have 3 of them, in fact. So here soon, I'm going to find some place here in Alaska that makes a really good chicken wing, probably some drummies, because I'm not a flapper fan, but some drummies. And I've got some of the guys here at church, maybe even some of the ladies, some of the people. How's that? Some of the people at church that we're going to kind of sit across the table from one another, and we are going to see how well we do with these 3 hot sauces that I got from Hot Ones. But I know they've also used sriracha, so we might even add that one so we can have a little more fun with the whole deal and start with the sriracha. There's a couple of other hot sauces that they use that I really enjoy the flavor of. So we might actually add 2 more, so we have 5 hot sauce kind of event, and we'll air it. Of course, we're not going to do the exact same thing that he does in his show, but we'll definitely have some similarities. How's that? We'll air it. We'll have several people sitting around the table at the same time, and we will, partake of some spicy wings and see how we do. So anyhow, thank you all for listening. Facebook, it's the same thing. Thank you guys for listening. All you guys, have a great day tomorrow. Spend time with family. They matter. They really, really matter. All right. Ciao.